Okay, here we go. My name is Ceci Collins, and I am General Counsel for the El Paso Independent School District. This is our 7th in-person meeting with the Citizens Advisory Committee for Redistricting. At this time, I'm going to call the meeting to order. It is now 5:36 p.m. I'm going to establish our quorum. We have Mr. David Thaxton here, who is an appointee of Trustee Irabali. We have Mr. Apodaca here, who is an appointee of Trustee Hanani. We have Mr. Martinez here, who is an appointee of Trustee Dr. Acevedo. We have Georgina Williams, who is the appointee of Trustee Daniel Call. And last but not least, we have Mr. Michael Lopez, who is an appointee of Trustee Hernandez. All right, so we have 5 individuals here from the committee. That means we have a quorum and we'll get started. At this time, if there is any public comment, any people from the public are able to make a comment if they wish to the committee. Seeing none, we will move on to the agenda. In the interest of trying to help the committee be able to get into the weeds of things and do a little bit more work hands-on with regards to the options, since I have given this presentation, or people in my stead have given this presentation a total of 6 times, and they are recorded and posted online on our website on the Redistricting webpage that you can find at EPISD.org, about the board, and then you can go down and see the census and redistricting information on there. So, but what I will say, what the committee will do now is we will be looking at the requirements of the Texas Education Code and the criteria that was established by the board for the redistricting process. This entire presentation is also posted online, and so you can see it. So the criteria that was adopted by the El Paso Independent School Board of Trustees on May 17th was, this is the timetable that they would like to be able to adopt redistricting plans by September 20th. They asked administration and with the assistance of legal counsel to design maps and plans. They obviously appointed this committee of 7. We've had, every meeting has been open to the public, and they have been posted online, and then also the public has had the ability to make comments at every single meeting. In addition, we have created a web page for redistricting, and like I said, that's on EPISD.org, about the board, and then you will see a link off to the side about census and redistricting that you can look at. We have our minutes, our agendas, we have the maps located there, all the presentations, everything that this committee has considered at each meeting. We are broadcasting each committee meeting live, and each one has been broadcast live, and all the recordings are posted on the district webpage as well. There was a brief progress report to the board on June 13th, as we had to change the timetable because of a conflict or conflicts with graduation. Then the committee is working on a survey that will go out district-wide, where they can get those recommendations back in late July, early August, to have another committee meeting in August, and that meeting will be at the downtown administration building, and that date will be determined by the availability of the board or the trustee, the committee members. And then August 16th, at the regularly scheduled board meeting of the trustees, there will be an update by this committee to the board about where we are in the process, and after that, whatever maps are decided to by the board that they would like to make public, we will publish those for 30 days before a final vote for adoption on September 20th. And then, of course, after it's adopted, we will give notice to all of the governmental entities and agencies that we need to do pursuant to the law. So with that, I am just going to go over one more slide from the presentation, and this is the criteria to be followed. As you know, anytime that there is a disparity between the most populous and the least populous single-member districts, EPISD, after a census, must redivide. That determination was made by the analytics department very early on, and so that's what started this process. Under the law, under the Texas Education Code, the district has to draw compact and contiguous districts. We need to, and this is the criteria that was not only in the law but also adopted by the Board of Trustees. Adopt districts of comparable population. The law says they need to be as nearly as practicable of equal population. The board would like you to base these on existing districts, use whole voting precincts, and that actually comes from elections. Preserve incumbent constituency relationships, meaning don't put two incumbents in the same district during this process. And we're to maintain communities of interest in neighborhoods, avoid plans that prejudice minorities, and of course, most importantly, keeping in mind that single-member districts are completely separate and apart for school attendance zones. Whatever this committee does and whatever the board adopts will not affect the school attendance zones and will not affect where your child goes to school. So with that said, I'm going to turn the meeting over to Mr. Steve Clay to go over the options.
Good evening, everyone. Good to be with you all again. Steve Clay, Executive Director of Analytics, Strategy Assessment, and Teams. And I want to start with a discussion we had last night that Ms. Williams brought up about some of the precincts and questioning some of those numbers. So Ms. Collins and I met today with the County Elections Department and spent about an hour or so with them and went through several of the numberings that you had brought up as concerns. And so a couple of things that we learned were that some of the numbers in Dave's maps are not numbers that represent what the county had updated as far as their new precinct numbers. So, and I'll show you a couple of examples of that because it directly applies to us. So we worked with them on that. There was also a question about split precincts, and so we got, right, exactly. And so as it was explained to us, there's 7 taxing entities, and so some of those, each entity may have different precincts for different things. And so when you look at the city or the county election website, a precinct may represent one thing to the El Paso Water District and another thing to the El Paso School District and another thing for the county elections. And so that's why some of those numberings are represented differently. So I provided you a packet, and there's multiple pieces of information. The first one, this came directly from the County Elections Department, and what it's showing is a breakdown of each voting precinct, and Ms. Williams, you had asked for it to represent the new precincts in District 3, and so that is showing there. Yep, you bet, absolutely. You'll notice that in 08 in District 6 and 7, that's showing there, but they see it as one precinct. We've just split that precinct. They definitely had a very strong interest in us correcting that, and so we explained that that's a strong interest of the board. It's a strong interest of you all as well to get that corrected so that we can also be in compliance. The other...
there was no 189, right?
So I'll show you that in just a second. So the other thing, if you notice on the far right in District 3, we have a little bit of a discrepancy on the boundary there. If you notice in the far bottom right-hand corner of District 3, you see 209, which was the new precinct that was added. And then to the right of that, you'll notice 210, 187, and 127. And on what we've been providing you all, we have not shown that. And so the good news is there's zero population in all three of those precincts. So it does not affect anything if it is ours or is not ours. And so the county is going back and they're looking at it, and they looked at their records and they show that it is ours. And what we're looking at, the gentleman who's maintained the district records for probably 30 years, unfortunately passed away. And so we're in the process of going through all of his records to try to find where that change occurred. But rest assured, we're working with the county on that. But regardless, either way, there's zero population in there. The other one that they brought to our attention, if you look at District 4, 060, and I'll pull it up on the screen as well. This was a change in precinct for this year as well. And so if you notice right here in this little tiny sliver, notice it's 60.2, which everything we've been looking at had it listed as 187 exactly.
It was basically McKelligan Canyon and had no population. It was a district.
The county is saying that's a 6.02 for...
It was adopted this year to that change, correct?
Because their map is still showing that as like 187.
Well, they've got a new number 187. You'll note out there on the...
Yeah, 187 has been moved into the Isleta district.
Yeah, that's kind of what triggered my question.
Right, yeah, that's where the whole discussion started from that.
And I'm like, it's not showing up
So,
at all.
Mr. Apodaca, so you're aware, these maps that you're looking at right now were provided to Mr. Paso County Elections Department.
Thank you guys so much.
Okay.
Yeah, no, thank you for bringing it. Yeah, it was a great question.
On the previous map, though, they had that as 187, and it showed with 0 residents, and so it's...
Yeah, I mean, there's nobody there.
Yeah,
That's,
187 and 188.
yeah, 188 is
Still
Oh.
there.
That was
still
good.
there. There is some population, 207 population there. That's between Alabama and Beaumont Hospital, or Louisiana Street.
then they must have updated this, Jake, because that used to...
They did.
Yeah,
They did.
Yeah, because, yeah, there was a little section in that area.
Right, right.
So that was a result of our meeting.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we got their stuff updated as well. So it was a very productive meeting. But what that means for us is we now have a second split precinct that we would need to correct. So in addition to the one in District 6 and 7 that split, we would need to update this one as well. Again, the great thing is there's no population there, so it doesn't affect any of our ratios or range of numbers. Any questions on that?
Okay, hold on. So, on the first sheet, you have 60, including the blue, it's just one precinct. That's what we're saying, right?
Correct. If you go to the second page, what this one will show, what we asked them to do there is identify any precinct that is split. And so let me pull up that one because, again, it's a very small print. Oh, I'm sorry, that was the one I had up. I apologize. So what you're really looking at on this one is anywhere you see a decimal point, if it's a 1, that means there is only one precinct within there. Exactly. Anywhere you see a 2, for example, 60.1 and 60.2, indicates there is a split. Another example I wanted to show you is if we look over here, we see 184.3, 184.2, 184.4, 184.1. So 0.1 and 0.3 are within the Canyon-Tio district. And so one of our questions was, why do they have 2 184s? And so the response back was, one is representative of the water utilities precincts, and one is representative of Canyon-Tio's trustee districts. So we see the same thing within ours, a 0.2 and a 0.4 for EPISD purposes, it's all 184, but other taxing entities have divvied up that precinct, and so that's why it's showing that way.
So here's a dumb question.
No dumb
So
questions.
when they get their voter registration card, it'll be designated like 184.1?
I believe,
How does that work?
No, so you don't, yeah, you won't see that on your card, so it's when you go in. But actually, for the case of 184, there should be no population in that area, because that's
Okay.
Castro Range.
right.
Okay, but hypothetically, so like, if I'm in that area, how will they know?
When you go vote, that's when
That's
you'll
where,
know.
okay, so there's not gonna be any confusion to the voters?
Yeah,
No, no.
Okay.
so yeah, because the only place that would have that experience right now would be in precinct 8, where we have the split currently between 8-1 and 8-2. And so when the voters do go vote, basically, when they would go vote up there, they would, when you would present your card, they would tell you like which precinct it is. And so, like, for example, then for campaign purposes, like, we have to figure out like which are streets, which are not. And so that's the crappy part of doing that, that precinct.
Thank you for adding that. Appreciate it. Here's another example. And so you can see there are multiple 194s. And Ruben Gomez is the individual we worked with at county elections, and what he explained, and you can kind of see it a little bit shaded in there. There's different tracts of land. And so depending on the taxing entity, again, they've separated out each tract within there.
So it's not a split precinct, it's
So-
just a whole.
It's different taxing entities. And
So for EPISD's purpose, it is one.
it is one, correct. And then the other one I wanted to show you, just so there's not confusion, and it occurs in 2 places, I believe. You see this one here, 132.1 and 132.2. That is one precinct, but it is a split boundary between EPISD and YISD. So for us, we have 132, but only a portion of it, whereas Isleta has the other portion of it. So you'll see that on a couple of the boundaries that lie between EPISD and YISD.
And then I guess going back to yesterday on the original question, so 189 is just gone because that's on the far east side.
Correct,
Okay.
correct.
I just wanted to make sure it wasn't something else.
Yep. And then we also talked with them about updating our maps. If you remember yesterday where you had us go under maps and then school district maps, their preference was to wait until after we adopt a new map before they update it. So we're going to post these on our district webpage under the redistricting options.
Just the first page, right, not where it says on 22.
We'll actually, I would assume we would post all of them just for
Yeah.
transparency for everyone.
Something that the committee looked at.
Oh, okay,
Right.
So we'll do it in a couple of places online. It'll be where the agendas are and whatever backup material.
Oh,
And then
okay.
we'll try to put it with maps
Oh, okay.
as well.
Any questions on any of that?
And we will make it clear, Ms. Williams, that these maps actually came from the county.
County, yes. And they were absolutely wonderful to work with today.
Yes.
They were very, very helpful, very responsive. So the other thing that I think we want to look at is the survey. And my team is still working on it because, of course, we were getting maps and all throughout the day and revisions and stuff. But let me show you what it's looking like so far. It may not be 100% ready to go, and I apologize for that. And you'll see that in a moment, what we're talking about. But just as a reminder, the committee over the last 2 days looked at all options that were presented, and you all narrowed it down to 2 options that you wanted to gather input from the community on. And then depending on what this committee decides based on the feedback would be one of the 2 recommendations that would be taken to the trustees for approval. I will say that yesterday at the end of our meeting, one of the committee members proposed a new idea, so I do want to share that with you all.
No, dude.
Everybody knows who it is, huh? So we'll go over that in just a. We'll go over that one in just a minute, but I just wanted to show you, and I mentioned this yesterday, that we wouldn't include it in the survey because, again, this wasn't what the direction of the committee was. It was to include those two options, but we'll review that one as well. So again, here's the language on the survey. It has not been translated into Spanish yet, only because if you guys had any other changes that you wanted to add before we had that translated. So any questions, discussions on the introduction to it?
So yesterday, my board had like a year, and we asked them to take it out so they wouldn't be confused as to when they're voting. Like if it said 2022, does that mean we vote in 2022 or 2023 when we were working on it? So we asked them to remove that.
Everybody good? Okay. So then you would click this link here. And again, the maps will actually be much clearer when we get it finalized. This was, like I said, I apologize. It was kind of a work in progress all throughout the day, getting various updates from the elections department. But you'll be able, on the actual survey, you'll be able to very clearly read each number that's represented here. You can see the move, which precinct it's going from, or I'm sorry, which precinct is moving from one trustee district to another. So in the first option that you all selected, which was option 2, but to avoid confusion, we would list this as option 1 on the survey, obviously. So it was moving, cleaning up the split in District 6 and 7. It now adds, which again you all didn't discuss, but it was brought to our attention today, cleaning up that split precinct that was identified by the elections department today. And then it's moving one precinct from District 5 into District 4, and one precinct from District 3 into District 2. And that was the first option, again, with the addition of cleaning up that second split precinct that you all voted on. And part of what they're still working on, you can see they're starting to add it in here. I asked them to add in specifically identifying which precinct so that it's very clear to whoever takes the survey exactly which precinct is moving. So they're in the process of adding those in right now. Ms. Williams, I think you also, when we looked at this map online, I think you also had noticed in the legend there were some split districts, so we talked with them about that. And so they cleaned those up as well on their maps. Yep. And so then the second option that you all identified that you wanted to move forward was, again, still the same movement from District 5 into District 4. Still cleaning up that new split that we just identified, the split from District 6 to 7, moving one precinct from District 6 into District 7. And then in District 3, we have two precincts that are moving from District 3 into District 2, and from District 1, moving one precinct into District 3.
So this was option 3 in the
It was option 3.
Okay, in the original.
Option 3 plus cleaning up that
Sure.
second precinct.
I want to see what you came up with, David.
Then let me jump into, and you would think I would have bookmarked it by now, but let me jump into what was suggested. Would you like to talk through it or to speak to it, or you want me to walk through it?
Good.
Whichever way you prefer.
Is that going up?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What this one does is in District 5, it moves 2 precincts into District 4, 155 and 55 and 56. Okay,
Oh,
right
wow.
into 4.
Okay.
Okay. It comes down and it moves 168 into 4. That was previously in 3, that area right there. Now that's a decent sized landmass, but it's a very small population. 1,600 people. It's the area up on the edge of the mountain above Alabama Street on the east side of the mountain.
I
Okay.
think the next one
Hold on
was,
just a second. So you said 68,
68 would move from 3 to 4.
and 55 and 56 are going to 4. And then 66 would go to 3?
60, that's 65.
No,
66.
Okay.
That would go to 3?
66 would go to 3.
Okay. And then what other changes?
And then the same changes on the west side in 6 and 7, combining 8 and moving 176 right there
To 7.
to 7.
Where is 221 on this one? Is that going to 3 or is that going to the northeast? Because it's different colors on here.
221 would still be
In 3? Okay,
Yeah.
so everying, even though it's different colors, that's
Yeah,
all still
yeah.
3. Okay.
Now, the numbers I have on that, let me tell you what your sheer population numbers become. In District 1, that has no change and it stays at 46,232.
I verified.
District 2, with the addition of District Precinct 1, Precinct
2 didn't get any.
74.
Oh, 2 got 74?
Yeah. Moved from 3 to 2. See that on there? 74 right at the bottom of the page.
Oh, I see it now. Uh-huh. Yeah.
With that movement, 2 increases its numbers to 46,074. District 3, with the addition of
66.
66 and the loss of 76 and the loss of 68.
But they lost 76?
176.
They lost 74. Excuse me.
Oh, okay. So what did 3 get?
Sorry.
3 got
66.
66 and lost 68 and 74, and their end up numbers 45,738.
Is there any way that you can like show us with the colors? Because it's still kind of confusing.
It is there with the colors.
This is Dave.
60.
So the only one is
The
this.
only change there is 221. Should
Oh,
be-
okay.
should be the-
And 209 should be.
Yeah.
209 should
Oh,
be
okay.
on with 3.
Okay.
Mr. Guy's going to change the color.
Yeah. I'm kind of visual. So.
It's just that one.
Well, it helps.
221.
It takes me a while to
Between-
process.
Oh, you're right.
I'm calling. Sorry.
Just a quick question. Is this already in our Dave's redistricting stuff?
I have not shared it yet.
Okay.
I wanted,
And 209 need to go to 3. And then the little tiny cleanup in 60. Also, I don't know what my login for Dave's is, since I still have all the facts. I just have
Oh, I don't know. They didn't email it? They emailed it to you.
I don't know.
Let me just go ahead and
Because I was using my personal
continue with the numbers. Our lowest population number will become 5 at 43,661,
Okay.
and that would become our zero base for the difference. The biggest of them would be number 7 with 46,395, and the total difference would be 1.06.
So it meets the criteria.
So it's a what, like a
221 should
7%?
be, which
Less than
district?
7%,
Like
1.062. And 5 of them would be within 100, or just a couple hundred of the ideal 45,589, which is your 1/7 of the population, average population. And we'd be within, one would be 1.1% over, one would be not 1% under. And they come out very,
Is
very
that- were
close.
those the only two?
All seven.
There's a cleanup?
You need to clean up right there. In 60.
That little part of 60.
And actually, and that,
Oh, okay,
and
thank
that
you.
little part too, apparently.
Thank you. Did I get everything?
And then go back to blue. And
There's
then
a blue
this-
on 60.
There's right there. There needs to be blue.
So that's it.
Sorry, I apologize, I'm colorblind, so it's a little harder for me to see
Can you zoom
them.
it out a little bit now?
Yep, sure, of course.
Thank you.
After we zoom it out, can you go to statistics really quick? After we zoom it out?
Too far.
And then 176, okay, got there. 8. So it's a 6%. Yeah. That's not bad. What do you
It's
think?
still contiguous, it's still compact, and it gives us the closest numbers of any plan yet.
And it's a total of 7
1.06.
moves. 7 moves.
Yeah, 7 moves.
Yes, sir.
Can you go back to the map really quick? I just
Yes,
want to
sir.
see one precinct. What is the size of precinct 66?
4,000,
790.
4,065.
And then what's the population of precinct 42?
Precinct 42,
Excuse me, not precinct 42, precinct 41. 41 should be this guy right here,
Under 70?
under 70.
That pink one, or salmon. Yeah, that one.
what is that?
Right underneath 70? Underneath the yellow? Yeah, there you
This
go.
guy right here.
Uh-huh.
What's the population of those two, of that one?
65.
It is not picking that up.
I see which one you're talking about. 41
Yeah.
is 1,682.
Yeah.
So 66, say, what was 66 again?
65 was 4,000.
No, no,
Yeah,
60.
66
Uh-huh.
was 4,065.
And then 41 is,
1,682.
so it's about 2,000 difference.
Not 2,400.
Because I would actually flip those two precincts.
Come on.
Send 66 back to
4?
and then District 3 takes 41, excuse me.
Since there's nothing in 60?
Yeah,
That gives 4 too much population. That really changes.
it really does. It is a,
Yeah.
What is it? Does it yield it?
Out of 4. You're adding 4,000 back into 4, and that's going to throw its numbers up to 49,000.
So it'll yield it like an
Way
8%?
out of whack.
Or 9?
They would probably not be,
Can you just see what that looks like for us, Mr. Clegg? Thank you.
This one.
So 66 turning blue.
While Mr. Flynn is doing that, Mr. Sonora, the principal, has indicated to me that he wants to make a comment.
Oh,
And this is what we're here, Mr. Charles. Looking at District 5, when you see the schools that are moving, lot, and it's here, and it's building.
So just for clarification, Mr. Zamora, what this will do will not change feeder patterns, school boundaries, anything like that. It's purely, correct.
This is separate.
Yeah, which is what we talked about the last meeting I was at, about when you guys asked me a question. That's my understanding.
Keeping communities
Yeah.
together,
Correct.
absolutely.
That's a close thing.
I'm sorry, Mr. Apodaca, you had one other
Sure,
change?
yeah, and then if you go down to 42,
This is,
and taking precinct 41 into District 3.
turning that yellow.
41 into District 3?
Yeah. How does that change? Both.
Ouch.
Okay, so then go back to, let's go, then, actually, let me do one more.
Doesn't meet our threshold,
That
Michael.
definitely doesn't. If you put 68 back into District 3,
Which one?
68,
The blue. Next to 69?
Which is a small.
Put 68
Is that really
and put it where, I'm sorry?
put it back into District, into
To
3.
yellow.
into
Yellow.
District
Yeah.
3?
Yeah.
Okay.
Does that still destroy it?
That was it? That was the only move?
Yeah, let's,
Okay.
9.6. It's really
Just
barely.
barely.
yeah.
So it would be at
It meets it, but
9.68.
just barely.
Yeah, that's what we had. That's almost 10% difference.
Okay.
Can you go back to some of the ones that you had?
Let's actually, because I do like, so, only reason is because since, kind of going back to communities together, since that's the Chapin area, or that whole little area is Chapin, and so just want to keep like that district together.
Yeah.
So let's play with one more thing. Let's get rid, actually, who's the one that's big in this one? Can I look at statistics one more time? Sorry.
Sure, no problem.
Elizabeth's biggest.
District 2 and District 7?
Give away. Okay, let's go back to the map really quick.
Yes, sir.
Sorry, I'm Kanye West in this whole conversation. Let's zoom out for a hot second. Let's see if we could give 121 to no, actually no, shoot,
No,
no,
that's
no,
not
that's
what it is.
no, because I need to give population. Yeah.
If you gave 56 to 5, that might balance it out.
Yeah, let's try that again.
Can you do 56 to 5? It's like the little triangle, it's in blue at the top.
Move this one back to 5.
Pink.
For the pink.
.9, that's the lowest number.
Thank you.
Can you show us what that looks like now? What did we do?
With that.
Gonna hate us. Okay, so,
Oh, wait, you moved 60 back to...
Yeah, sorry. There you go.
okay.
Sorry about that.
So then that keeps those communities together, the communities that you just addressed together.
It's all intact.
It's intact. Go down a little bit. What did we took away from trustee 2? Oh, trustee 1, right?
Yeah, we took away that precinct from
Is it 41?
from my district.
Is that north? Doesn't
That-
matter, but
No, it's north. Yeah, it's still north of the freeway. That's by that's Tech. That's Tech and Armendariz.
oh, the CCT.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. And then what did trustee 1 gain?
Trustee 1 gave
I
nothing.
mean, I'm sorry, trustee 2.
trustee 2 gained nothing, because we didn't move anything in trustee 2. Actually, who's trustee 2?
Velarde.
He gained nothing, or lost nothing.
So you still have 76, 77. No, he gained 74.
No, oh, 74, yeah, he gained 74.
He gained 74.
That's right. Yes.
Okay, so what moves did we make? Did anyone do notes? Let's go back. Can we see like an original so we know what moves? Oh, I should always have an original map.
So let's just look at this.
Yeah, because we need the.
Sorry, I can go back. They wanted to go back to the original. Okay, 74 was one of the changes. 56 above urban. Was it just those two?
And then 41
Oh,
went from District 1 to District 3.
Okay,
Thank you.
So let me go
That's
back
right.
to the original map.
41
Don't move
right
it.
here.
Don't move it.
This piece right here.
So 55 went. So just here.
I think it was 3.
Yeah,
correct?
and then 2, 3, and then this guy up here, precinct 17, I think flipped over to. That was one of the flips
Yeah,
up here.
76,
Yeah, went to
67.
yeah, and then we cleaned up precinct 8.
Sorry, you got to go back to kindergarten. Okay, let's go by one. One gain.
One lost. 41.
Can you go down a little bit more? Sorry.
Yeah?
Yeah, thank you. So we got 25. So they lost. No. So you just lost 41.
Yeah.
Okay. So lost. Okay. And then
56.
let's go to trustee 2.
They got 74.
Go back down.
4 to 5, based on his proposal.
4 to 5,
Mm-hmm.
but that's where it is right now.
Right, they moved it into it.
It's fine.
No.
Yeah, it was 74 that went to District 2.
It is right there.
So they
Then he changed it, but he changed it back.
I know, but I'm just trying to know.
From the original?
What are the moves from the original map?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. Okay,
Right,
so can you zoom out?
56 actually is currently in 5.
So there's no move.
There's the move there.
So the moves that you are making is, it looks like 74.
Oh, actually, 55.
55 is to 4.
Yeah, 55 moved
56 stayed.
and 56 stays.
56 stayed.
55 before. Then we had 74, right? From 3 to 2. And then you had
41.
41 from 1
To 3.
to 3.
And that was it on that one? No.
Yeah, that was it on that.
And then you said 176?
Yeah, 176 goes into District, went from 6 to 7. And then the cleanup in Precinct 8.
And then 8 and 60, right?
Yeah.
Cleanup?
So we won't have that. Sorry for the split precinct 10 years ago.
Save this map.
Yes. This is copy of option.
Could I make one suggestion at this point, too, and no change to the map or anything else? Michael, I don't know if you attended any of our meetings at the county this year. I know
I attended one.
George was there a lot and everything else.
Right.
We, on the county realignment for the county commissioners and for the JPs, we made an agreement at the beginning that if the committee was 100% in favor of a map, that would be the only one we would recommend forward to the commissioners. If we were not in 100% compliance, and we would present two maps, a majority map and a minority map. When we were done, we were absolutely in total agreement on the JPs. We only recommended one map, they accepted that. We did have a difference on the county commissioners, so we presented two maps, a majority and a minority, and the commissioners accepted the majority map. I think that we ought to do, if we can come to a percent consensus, I would recommend just recommending one map for the survey. And say, this is, you know, what we've come up with, what do you think? And if we don't, then maybe present two maps. One would be the majority of the committee and a secondary suggestion for the survey.
So
I think
right now we had option 2 and 3.
2 and 3, so y'all agreed on 2 of them.
I would almost get rid of 2 and keep
Yeah,
3 and
just
this
say
one.
What we're doing here, if we
Yeah.
come up with, you know.
Yeah,
if we can-
I don't know, but, sorry, David, to interrupt. But I don't know if that's what the board wanted. I think the board wanted us to give them 2 maps for the survey. Is that, or is it?
No, no.
is that-
No. The
Okay.
board did not say
Okay.
the number of maps.
Okay.
You guys decide as a committee the number of maps. Now, but
Okay.
let's talk about it. What you're really surveying, there isn't
A second option.
There's no
yeah.
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
It doesn't, I don't know what you're surveying there. Because
Correct.
basically what you're doing is putting out to the public, this is what we're gonna do, right? And if that were the case, I mean, that's a matter of just posting online and getting feedback from the public during that 30-day period before the board votes. I don't know that that was the intention of the board. The board asked for a survey.
Okay. Yeah, then I'm in agreement with you with that. If we all feel like there's a map that we're all comfortable with, then we can do that. Which also, I will say at this point, I disagreed with your JP map, but whatever. Because y'all did precinct 6 incorrect, but we'll talk about that in 10 years.
So the point is that we do need to do a survey, but there's nothing wrong with this committee saying, this is our preferred option. What do you think?
Yeah.
Right?
Okay, yeah.
And as a secondary preferred option, you can do that as well, right? So you could do it that way.
Okay.
I mean, the only thing I would suggest from a survey's perspective is if you're going to, I would not use the word preferred, because I think you're
Well-
still guiding and steering them. And then, of course, why would I want to take a survey if you're telling me this is the preferred? You're really telling me which answer to pick. So I think you would need at least 2 options, and I would not distinguish anyway one versus the other, so that you get that open feedback. And then from there, based on that survey feedback and based on y'all's recommendation, you could come up with a preferred option that would go to the board.
Right, so in the report to the board on August 16th, you'll have the survey results, you'll have been able to analyze it, and then you can present to the board what your recommendation is. And the board can decide what it wants to do. Because the board, this committee is to follow the criteria that's in the law and what was adopted by the board, but ultimately the board's gonna make the decision.
Right.
And it could be that the board doesn't like any of that.
Right, and that's kind of what happened at city council. So, yeah, and so because all their maps were horrible, and I agree with that.
Didn't have anything to do with that.
Yeah, I know, and actually, Representative Nell and I were going over it like 20,000 times.
So I would say at this point, there's the 2 options that you all discussed yesterday and wanted to bring forward into the survey, which you can change your mind if one of those options you don't want to move forward, absolutely.
Can you
And then
zoom
you
out on
have
this one?
2 options that y'all have come up with tonight. I'm sorry?
Can you zoom out on this one so I
Of
can
course.
just see it as a whole?
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, we could give them 3 options, which is the option 2 original, option 3 and this one, or we just eliminate option 2.
Which is option 2.
This is the map we're still in playing with, right?
Yeah,
Okay. What happened to District 4? It picked up,
it picked up
55.
55.
It lost 74. No, that was it. It picked up 55.
It picked up 55. And it kept those communities together.
So the 2 new options that were created tonight, this was the second of the 2. So again, here's the statistics on that one.
like that percentage.
Uh,
5.91.
in,
96.
It's pretty good, huh?
oh,
Do you like that one?
I do.
Impressed
That's better than,
the other ones?
well, the other ones was cool, but, so, but yeah, District 1 was horrible. Probably drew that one.
And then this was the first one we reviewed tonight.
So I think, I'm sorry, Mr. Faxon, I think we should eliminate that one because we played off of that one, if that's okay.
Yeah,
We went from there.
yeah.
It's a good start.
Yeah, no, and thank you, David, for,
Yeah, it was great.
yeah, for thinking that, because I didn't think that until I saw 66. And so that's where I was like, this definitely should go back to shape.
So is everyone in agreement that this first option that was presented tonight, you all do not want to continue that one?
Correct.
Move it forward?
Does it meet all the criteria? 10%, the constituency relationship, the compactness, contiguous. It does.
Right, so I think you're talking about Mr. Faxon's first option that we had before, it was modified. So do you want to continue with the one that he had,
No, this
or
one.
the second one?
The second one.
Okay.
Oh,
That's what I was
That's
just
it.
trying to clarify that. So it looks like
Which
at
is
this
this?
point you have, is it 2, 3, and today's option?
Correct.
Correct? And that those would be put into the
I
survey?
think Michael wants to see 2 again and 3 maybe?
Let's see, what are we going to call this one?
It would be number 3.
It would be number 3?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
In the survey, yeah.
The
So
survey.
today, you're gonna mark it with today's date.
Okay. And then option, well, we have the, I moved everything.
So this is the one you all came up, the second one you all came up with tonight.
Okay.
That would be option number 3.
So this
And then
is
the
option
other
2.
one was option number 2,
It's just basically
which for survey
small.
purposes would be option number
Yeah,
1.
This was the, yeah, this was like this option.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think we could present this to you. I mean, because this one does.
You don't
the
think we
least-
should
No,
like,
not
you think we should
engaged.
eliminate it? And just show them 2 or keep 3?
I think we should show 2.
Yeah.
So that we can get, I mean, the purpose of the survey was to get a survey.
So keep option 3 from the original and then today's and eliminate option 2.
Which is the original 3.
So this is option 2, showing the arrows. Again, the only change would be that 187 would be added in to eliminate that split district.
I move to eliminate that one completely.
And then this was option number 3.
I like this one.
And the statistics on option number 2, the range was, the highest was 7%. And for option number 3, the range was 6%. Option number 3 had a total of 6 moves. Now 7 with the additional split precinct. And option 2 had 3 moves, now 4 with the addition of the split precinct.
And then the last option had how many, the one that was below
So originally it was 7 moves, and then you added 3, but one of those was a move back from the original.
So I think
7.
on that one, there are 4 moves, I believe, which is the cleanup in 8, 176 to District 7,
Precinct 55,
Precinct 55.
41, and 74.
Okay, so there's 5 moves.
And 187.
And then
And then the
The
cleanup.
split, so 6.
Yeah.
So 6 total, including the cleanup.
Correct, correct.
and that'll make, District 5, our highest amount,
Still,
47,215.
For the newest option,
Uh-huh.
Yeah, 5 is still the biggest.
It's still the biggest? I know.
Yeah, that's fine. 47,215, the lowest being District 4, 44,521, and the difference being 6%.
Well, hopefully in 10 years from now, like everything will just move up. So,
I know.
or for whatever reason, everybody moves back to Central, and
We need
Because-
incentives for that infill
because
development.
Central is the best place to live, like at Austin High School. Just to put that on the record.
3 options.
We're going to present 2 options, right?
3?
2? Are we keeping option 2? I vote to remove it and just keep option 3 in today's.
So, okay, so do we want to, okay, so we do want to just present 2 options? Is that just to make it easier?
I think so, because you don't want to confuse the public. If you give them too many, that was my thing yesterday, because they wanted to put all the 4 options that they worked so hard on, and I was just like, that's going to confuse the public in general when they look at the surveys. So I think the more that we hone down the ones that we really, truly are passionate about, we should present those.
in the survey.
Right, in the survey.
Okay, so,
And-
But, I mean, we could all vote on it if you guys want.
How does everyone feel about that? 2 versus 3?
I like 3.
I like 3.
wait, no, option, options.
How many options to present to them?
How many options?
I like 2 options.
Me too.
2 options going
2
forward to the
options.
vote.
okay.
And then Ms. Martinez and
I
Ms.
agree.
Forrest? Are you good with that? Okay, then we'll just present 2 options then.
Okay, so for clarification, it would be what I'm showing on the screen now, which was originally option number 3.
Right.
And then the last option that you all came
From
up with
today.
tonight.
And then you're gonna clean it up, like, to put the correct numbers that we got from the county today and all that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, this isn't just an old presentation.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
And then also, we found out about additional software that we're going to go ahead and purchase to do a double check on
Oh,
the
no.
days map. No, actually, I mean, the county suggested this.
Oh, okay,
And
good.
I-
It's a good thing.
It's a good thing, right?
It'll just ensure
that-
compliance with that.
Then we'll have
Yeah.
like more questions
Right,
later.
then watch it all be all, I mean, my whole thing with Dave's suggesting, like, what is this is all wrong? And everybody's been using the wrong math.
This is why we're
That was my
Check it,
question.
yeah, yeah,
I'm like, wait,
yeah.
where's this really?
Yeah, when redistricting all started, it was like, this is all wrong.
Yeah, so really that's kind of what led to this conversation because, Dave's is great, but it's all historical.
Yeah.
So, it was based off of the 2020 census and whatever precincts were in existence at that time.
Yeah.
And you can still manipulate it. You can get down to the census block level and
Yeah.
do it, but it's still better to check it from a second source.
Right.
So that's what we want to do.
So we will, going forward, what we're going to do, we're going to draft the survey. At our next meeting, well, the survey the survey will be put out to the public with the 2 options in there. The results will be gotten to you. Actually, before the survey goes out, we'll let everybody be able to do a dry run
Oh,
to see if you have any pointers on it. And then the survey will be put out. It'll be put out initially for 2 weeks. If we need to put it out for an additional week, we will do that. And then in early August, we will have a meeting to discuss the survey results. That meeting will be in the downtown administration building in the boardroom. It will be also open to the public. And then from there, discussions will take place as to what we go from there for the September 20th board meeting. Well, first of all, it'll be the August board meeting to present
Do we
the,
have the dates for that?
it's August 16th.
Oh, okay.
August 16th will be the first meeting August 16th will be the first regular board meeting that we will have where you can present the results of the survey and then also any,
So that means our
opinions that you
chair
have.
will have to go there and present to the board.
Yes,
Right.
that's the idea of the
Put that
chair.
on your calendar.
I just checked just to make sure it wasn't the second Tuesday of the month, which then I would be like, uh-oh. So,
Otherwise, it would be a standard.
yeah, I was like, you'll have to come to the Democratic Party meeting so I could do both. So,
What we will do is we will make sure that, we have a summary of the things that the committee considered, the process that you went through, give you all that, present to the board on August 16th. And the idea is the board will adopt on the 20th, but between the 16th and September 20th, whatever option you're presenting to the board, if it's one or two, will be posted online. Again, so that the public can still make public comment before coming to the board is more transparent. Does that make sense?
So the next thing is the survey for the people.
Survey to the people. So
Then
you will
go
get,
out with-
you will get a dry one survey as soon as,
They need to take some time off, Mr. Best. They need the 4th of July weekend.
So we'll probably finalize it on Tuesday. We need to send it out for translation. And so we'll do that on Thursday, tomorrow. And we should get that back on Tuesday. We'll send it to you all to review. Send you the link. You can take the survey, see how everything looks, any concerns, you can provide us that feedback. And then ideally, hopefully, y'all could do that on Tuesday when we send it out to you that same day. And then we would send it out the following day. So July 6th, I believe.
Yeah, which is Wednesday. That'll be good. Sounds good.
any other questions, comments from the committee, anybody from the public? I want to thank Trustee Arvadi for coming again. This is a good member of the board meeting.
You know, we tried decreasing your area, you still have the largest. I know. But it still came out the biggest of all of them.
It's still the largest.
Usually it's gonna be 194. One day.
Oh, gosh. All right, if there's no other comments from the committee, I believe that we're ready to adjourn.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Very
Thank you for
good
bringing
job
up your.
from everyone. Thank you guys. I know
Thank
you
you.
guys worked hard on it.
6:30.